Hi there, buds. I get asked all the time, how do I get my skin to look so clear? And I wear makeup. I wear makeup every single time I sit in front of the camera to record something, or I try to put on at least foundation every single time. And every single time I photograph myself as well, I also wear makeup. So I thought I would just do a little video, get ready with me type of video, just doing my makeup. It's not very much because I go for a pretty natural look. It just looks like better skin because I have really bad dark circles and I have really bad acne scarring on my cheek. If you zoom in, you can really tell that it's really discolored. Oh my gosh, my dark circles, I look like I've been punched. Jeez. I'm gonna show you guys how I cover this all up and make it look not so splotchy and uneven. I don't really have much acne anymore. My skin is fairly clear. It's just scarring and discoloration at this point. But I'll smoke and I'll do my makeup with you guys. This is actually something I get asked to do, so I hope this video is appreciated. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Cheers. All right, now that I've smoked, let's zoom in on this mug. Because I feel like that's what people do, right? That's what the beauty people do. They get all zoomed in on their face, right? So let's get this zoomed in. Boom. All right, let's get this started. Okay, so the very first thing I do in the morning is wash my face, obviously. And this is the best face wash ever, and it's super cheap. This is by The Body Shop. It is Tea Tree, and it is amazing. It's just their Tea Tree Skin Clearing Facial Wash. And this stuff is awesome. Like, it's great for people who have oily skin or acne. It is a little intense, like it does dry your skin out a little bit. So if you have super dry skin, it's probably not for you. But anybody who is like acne prone or oily, this stuff is great. And I use it twice daily, in the morning and at night. And that's pretty much it as far as what I do as far as like cleansing. Occasionally I'll do a mask, but that's about it. Okay, so let's get into like daily routine makeup. So the first thing I use is primer, and my favorite one is by e.l.f. It is their tone adjusting primer. I get the green kind because, as you guys can see, kind of, my skin is kind of splotchy, like in certain places. It's just not even, and I like the way it feels. It is moisturizing, but it fills in all your pores and it makes your skin feel smooth, and it kind of blurs out imperfections just a little bit, not a lot. The green doesn't do too much versus their regular primer, but I just like the way that the green one feels. And I do think that it helps a little bit with tone. But the main reason I use it is because it just helps my foundation go on smooth and not streaky. And it makes the makeup last longer. So that's with primer. Wow, my skin already looks 10 times better, I feel like. Even though you can still see like the scarring. Just hydrating your skin. Getting a primer on there really does help your skin. It really, really does. Like, that's already helped. All right, I need another toke. So the next thing I use is the NYX Total Control Foundation. This stuff is like, I think $15, $10. It's not very expensive. You can find it at any drugstore. Pretty much everything that I use is from a drugstore because I am broke and I don't really wear the makeup outside of the house. It's legitimately only worn in front of the camera, and that's about it. Occasionally I'll wear makeup out, like just about in public, but most of the time this is just for the camera. You can apply this with a beauty blender or a brush. I like using a brush with liquid foundations. I find that a beauty blender soaks up so much of the product that you don't get your money's worth. So I like to use a brush with liquid, and I just swipe that along the face. And I go all the way back. Like, because I'm bald, that's a really important tip for bald guys, is if you are gonna wear makeup, make sure to go all the way back, because you don't want two different color skins. I go over the eye, I pretty much go everywhere and just try to get it in there. It really doesn't matter if it gets in my beard. I'll take a warm, wet rag and go over my beard so that I don't have any makeup in my beard, and I also do that over my eyebrows as well. And I just kind of really buff that out because you don't want it to be streaky or patchy anywhere. That's like the most important thing about makeup, is making sure that it's applied well, because if it's not applied well, then you give it away. Like, you want it to look as natural as possible. So I take my time. It normally takes me about 10 minutes to get my makeup ready. I go over my ears too, so that they're the same color, because it does bother me if my ears are like lighter than the rest. And I even go down to my neck, and I'll even go over my shoulder sometimes if I am wearing something like this where I'm like, oh my gosh, so pasty white. Match it all up. Alright, now that I look like a Oompa Loompa, because there's like no definition on my face and it's just foundation. There was something that went bang upstairs. Okay, so the next thing I do to my face to add some definition and make it not look so like, it kind of looks like Oompa Loompa-ish, like it's just so one color and kind of orangey. I bring in some definition by contouring, and I use the NYX HD Studio Concealer. And the only reason I use this is because I bought it to use as an actual concealer, but it's ended up being too dark. So that's a tip for people. Like, if you buy makeup and it ends up being a shade too dark, use it as contour. Like, you can do that with foundations, as long as it's like a stick foundation. You could even do it with a liquid foundation, I guess. Yeah, I know this looks crazy, and it is crazy. It's gonna look crazy for a bit. Contouring, I feel like, always looks crazy. I go down the bridge of my nose just a little bit. Try to make that straight. And I shade backwards. Alright, now that I look fucking crazy, makeup is magic. Like, it really, really is. Makeup is really magic. Like, if men knew what girls actually do to their face to make it look the way that it does every day, they would be shook. Like, they would be, this is gonna make my 70% male subscribers be like, wow, this is what my girlfriend probably does to her face. Yeah, it probably is, or something similar. So now I just buff the contour out. I promise it doesn't look crazy in the end. Like, that looked so crazy, didn't it? And it still looks crazy for a second. Buff, 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 buff. Yes, see how my face now has like just a little bit of definition already, just like in my cheeks and in my head. Like, it, the color makes it adds definition. Next, I go in with a small poofy brush to buff out the nose. And the way to contour your nose is you try to not fuck up that line, basically. That's your whole fucking goal, is to not mess up that straight line that you just made. If you do, you can go back in with your finger, like a wet finger, and erase it. You want to try to keep the concealer where it is, because you're trying to cast a shadow on your nose, basically. A slightly darker shadow. Perfect. I'm just gonna go in and go like that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Sometimes I go in with a little bit of a white foundation, like a really, really white foundation. I'll go above the bridge of my nose and down here just to highlight that, but I don't think I need to. I think that that's plenty. All right, under eyes, because they're not done yet. I use this NYX Dark Circle Under Eye Concealer. It is orangey and it's really, really, really thick, and it feels kind of like clay. Like, it's a very thick concealer, and I use that on my eyelid and around, and it looks crazy too. I know. Makeup looks so weird as you're doing it. Like, every single fucking day I do my makeup, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And then in the end, I'm like, it's kind of okay. I think I get away with it because of the lighting, and I just blend this out with my finger, by the way. I get away with it because of the lighting and because of my skin tone. With my skin tone being tan, it hides scarring very well and just blemishes on camera when the light hits it. I don't know why, but I feel like tan people just have it really well with covering your blemishes. That looks so horrible. Okay, that looks better. Do this side. I probably should have done my eyes first. That's normally what I do, but I forgot when I was filming. Like, I legitimately put on foundation first. Normally I conceal my eyes and then do my foundation, because if not, you start to look like this, where you're like, your eyes are really bright, the rest of your skin's not. So I'll go back in with my foundation brush, and I probably don't even need to add any more foundation, to be honest. I'm pretty heavy with the foundation, but I just like to blend it out. I just don't want it to be a different color than my foundation, so I just blend that out. Yep, that looks about right. And now I'm just going to take the makeup off of my eyebrows and my beard. And then my eyelids, not my eyelids, but my lashes. Alright, so the second to last thing I do is highlighter. I use this really cheap highlighter from Profusion Cosmetics. It's called the Luminizer 1. And this is actually really, really nice highlighter. Like, all of these shades work very, very well. I use every single one of them. Every single one blends well and looks good on my skin tone, and isn't too much. Like, it doesn't look crazy, particularly on camera. In person, they are a little bit more striking, but on camera, it's just the right amount of pop. And the colors do add like slight variations with your highlight. They have everything from like Lightning, which is really, really white shade, Fairy Lights, which is a light pink, They have Wonderland, which is a white base gold. And then they have Heartfelt, which is this nice copper tone. And then lastly, they have Impulse, which is a nice bronze gold. Today, I think I'm going to go into Heartfelt first. And use that on my cheeks. Like that. And do the same for that side. I probably over highlight. I love highlighter. I just love the way it makes your skin look on camera particularly. It really adds glow to your face. It makes your skin just look so much lighter. I always do the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow. Like that. And then honestly, I normally go into another highlighter too, and I do a lower highlight as well. So I'm going to go into Lightning, which is the white one. And I know it kind of like defeats the purpose of contouring, basically. But I don't care, because I love highlighter. It just makes my skin look so good on camera. Like, that's the main thing. And then the very last thing that I do is set everything off with powder. I use the NYX HD Studio finishing powder. It has slight flashback, not much though, which is why I use it, because I'm in front of the camera all day and I don't want to look ghostly white. I like my skin tone and I like to stay my skin tone, and I don't want my powder to change my skin tone on camera. And I feel like a lot of other powders I've tried do that. This one does a little bit, like it makes my skin slightly whiter on camera, but not much. I have to use powder just because I cough so much in my videos and sweat sometimes because I'm in front of the camera lights, and sometimes it gets hot in my room. But yeah, that's it. That's how my face normally looks when I am on camera, minus the powder in my beard. That's it. It's definitely covered up all of my scarring, and it's left everything looking just flawless. I know that I'm not an expert on makeup, but I think that I do a pretty good job. Not like as a makeup artist or anything like that, but for like every day, I have to say I think that my skin looks pretty good. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I don't know what I should ask you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this, because this is like out of my element, out of my comfort zone. I've never shared what makeup I wear or what I use or anything like that, so it's like, it feels weird, but it's been so nice being able to share things with you guys outside of cannabis, and that you guys are genuinely asking questions and are interested in things. So as long as you guys continue to ask me questions, I'll continue to make videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys around for whatever Sony activity or video I have for next time. Bye guys.